Oh, man, they love themselves some Elizabeth Warren. That's right. The word came down from up high that Elizabeth Warren is the chosen one. Tim Black, why you got to say that, man? How do you come to that? Well, first of all, TYT loves Elizabeth Warren. Oh, Anna Kasparian and Emma Vigilant and Cenk Uygur just love her. Elizabeth Warren is the bestest. Yeah, that's the thing. And there's also, when you see stuff like this, it kind of gives you the impression, maybe they got a thing for her. Not just TYT, but the establishment.
Faster than a camera can follow. Hello! Elizabeth Warren isn't just running for president, she's dashing. Her latest dash across a New Hampshire field has gone viral, inspiring comparisons to the Energizer Bunny.
Still going.
And the Prancer-sizer lady. Remember her vaguely horse-like exercise routine? Elizabeth Warren's sprint spawned memes. Me running for the bathroom when the movie is over. Me showing up 2 hours late to the family cookout that I'm gonna leave in 10 minutes. Me running to the edit room to get this piece done on time. We've seen Warren run before.
Sorry, I'm running for a train. You're the only presidential you're the fastest presidential nominee.
She moved faster than his mouth could, barreling into New York's Penn Station. We've seen her zip around Boston's Gay Pride Parade, but running at parades is almost a requirement.
What do you think?
For candidates age 70 and up, worried about being called
Sleepy Joe.
Or the dreaded
He's a low-energy individual.
By a president who has only ever been spotted running a few paces, maybe once or twice. As Democratic candidate Andrew Yang put it,
gosh, what could that guy beat me at? Being a slop?
Can't call Warren a sloth.
Hello?
Someone tweeted, just wait until she climbs the stairs 3 at a time on Air Force One. A leisurely climber, President Trump, has dissed President Obama for hopping and bobbing all the way down the steps, so inelegant and unpresidential. A conservative meme maker tried to dash Warren's energetic image. But even when she's tumbling, she's still an Energizer Bunny on a roll.
Keep going and going and going.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Tim Black running to go get a barf bag. Jesus. When they start doing that amount of circle jerking, that amount of fawning, everyone's fawning over Elizabeth Warren. Wow, she's running. Yeah, when I start seeing stuff like that, that makes me really, say, hey, the establishment really must like Elizabeth Warren. I mean, whole segment was about positivity about Elizabeth Warren. I told you they made her the chosen one, man. They've decided. Well, Tim, that's not enough. That's just one stupid commercial. One, wasn't supposed to be a commercial. It's actually a segment in a in a leading cable news provider. But, it was just one segment, Tim. What else you got? You got to have more than that, Tim. Stop being such a kooky conspiracy theorist. Okay.
Democratic strategist Danny Barefoot, his months of flirting with multiple candidates is over. After placing several Democrats in his top spot, Barefoot has decided he is now all in for Senator Elizabeth Warren. Barefoot making his choice Twitter official. This is what he wrote. After a bunch of thought, I've decided I'm throwing my support, money, and time behind Elizabeth Warren. I told myself I'd keep an open mind before making a choice this cycle, and I did. So with me to explain his choice, Danny Barefoot, a Democratic media strategist. Danny, nice to meet you. Nice to have you on.
Nice to see you as well, Brooke.
All right, so we read the Twitter thread, and, you said at one point you had, Kamala Harris or Kirsten Gillibrand or Pete Buttigieg in your top spots. So what made you go in on Senator Warren?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm from sort of the more moderate establishment wing of the party, and to be completely honest with you, Senator Warren wasn't in my sort of even top 3 spots at the start of this campaign. But I sort of went in with an open mind and watched the campaign unfold, and she's the only candidate bringing her A game, in my opinion. She's sort of checking off every box as far as I'm concerned. She's bringing the plans, bringing the proposals. She's also getting the politics right. She's going to areas like Kermit, West Virginia, and making the case directly to Trump voters that we need big structural change. And, you know, it's sort of interesting. A lot of the times the folks that are in sort of the more progressive wing of the party aren't serious about actually building the party. They sort of are attacking it. And I was really, really heartened to see Senator Warren, like, she's building up the party. She's meeting with party leaders. She's getting energy. She's getting enthusiasm. And she's just the person that I have faith to take on Donald Trump.
Wow. Did I prove my point there, Johnson? Did I prove my point there, Johnson? Get it now? I think I did prove my point, Johnson. Who's this guy, Danny Barefoot, and why doesn't he have on shoes? And why should I care who he is? I've got more followers than him. They didn't invite me on the show to ask me who I was going to vote for. After long deliberation, a person we don't know says they finally decided to support Elizabeth Warren for no substantive reason at all. I consider myself a moderate establishment Democrat, and I like Elizabeth Warren. There you go. That's kind of my point. That's kind of my point, guys. That's it right there. I've been telling you that Elizabeth Warren is lukewarm on progressive policies. Talks a good game, but I don't feel she has any skin in the game when it comes to progressive policies. And them trotting out the CNN, first they do the segment with her running across the field as if she's in the Olympics. Okay, fine. I'm sure there's one of those on Bernie they're doing right now as I speak. Or 19 of the other candidates. And then there's this guy, they do a segment on his feelings about Elizabeth Warren as if we give a damn, as if he's notable at all. I don't get it. But you'll say, Tim Black, you're just being, you're being prejudicial against Elizabeth Warren. You don't see how amazing she really is. And then all I do is I point you to a clip of Elizabeth Warren.
It's a great honor to be out here with all of you. I know that this is a scary time in America, and I know that what happens in 2020 is going to determine the direction of our country, not just for 4 years or for 8 years, but for generations to come. And I'm grateful to every one of you who's gotten into this fight, who cares about what happens in this caucus, because I know Iowa is going to be key to what happens to America in the next generation. Thank you. Yes, you are. I just want to wrap this up by saying the reason I'm here. I didn't in a million years think I'd ever end up running for any public office. I've known what I wanted to be since I was in second grade. I wanted to be a public school teacher. Can we hear it for our public school teachers? But by the time I graduated from high school, my family didn't have the money for a college application, much less to send me off to 4 years at university. My big chance was down in Houston, Texas. I got a chance, yes, for a commuter college that cost $50 a semester. And on a price I could pay for on a part-time waitressing job, I got a chance to finish my 4-year diploma and become a special needs teacher. I've already lived my dream job. So I stand here today in front of you to say, never having thought I'd run for office, what brought me in is opportunity. It's a deep down belief in opportunity, not just for some of our kids, not just for those born into privilege, but opportunity for all of our kids.
I can't do more of it, man. I'm sorry. I just can't sit through more of that. So what's become apparently obvious to me is that Elizabeth Warren is her rhetoric is just hollow platitudes of personal stories, and it bores the hell out of me. But I would overlook all of that if I thought that she truly believed in what she says. I'm finding it hard to believe. And then when I read articles like the one in the Atlantic, the one in the New York Times, that point to the fact that Elizabeth Warren has been courting the establishment in the Democratic Party, then it becomes even more crystal clear that Elizabeth Warren is not in it to change the Democratic Party, to revamp it. She's just in it to be in it, to support it, to broaden it, to make it a better, corporate party, so to speak, but not to fundamentally remake it, redesign it. In fact, It points to the fact that Elizabeth Warren raised more than $11 million helping getting Democrats elected up and down the ballot around the country and sent contributions to all 50 state parties, the national committees, and the redistricting fight. This is what she said she did, touting how great a Democrat she's been. Her point was easy to grasp. While her liberal agenda may be further left than some in the party would like, or what the Democratic establishment would prefer, she is a team player who is seeking to lead the party, not stage a hostile takeover of it. What does that sound like to you? Does that sound like a change agent going in to revamp this whole system that's jacked up? A DNC that publicly admitted that we can go choose whoever we want for our nominee. We're a private organization. You really have no say in who we put out front. Does that sound like somebody wants to dismantle that? No, she doesn't want to dismantle anything. She wants to operate in between the lines. And if you start at the position of, I'm going to operate between the lines, I want to get along with people, I'm going to work it out, I'm going to court the donors, I'm going to do the dance, I'm going to keep the establishment happy, then we all know there's not much room to push you. I mean, you're already where they want you to be. So when things get tough, she's damn sure going to cave in. She's already caving in just to get in. That's how I see Elizabeth Warren. She's already giving all the inches that you can give just to get in the door because she wants to be in the club. Listen, if you're looking for a change agent, if that's what you want, then Elizabeth Warren is not your person. Now, if you just say, I just want somebody with some policies that they say they like, that make me feel good that she has these policies, great. But where were those policies in the last 5 years? Where were those policies last election cycle? Where was she last election cycle? She wasn't in the race because she was playing by the rules of the DNC, of the Democratic Party, because she's operating within their framework. I don't believe, guys, that that's what we need. I don't think we need somebody operating within the framework of the Democratic Party. I think somebody needs to rip out the framework of the Democratic Party, remake the Democratic Party from the bottom up, grassroots level, with real leadership, going in a whole different direction away from the corporations and the special interest groups. If Elizabeth Warren is so anti-big money, anti-corporate connections, anti-caving into the establishment, why are they able to stomach her? There you go right there. Why are they okay with her? Why is she getting inspired in CNN? Why is she getting fluff pieces from CNN? And why are they coming out saying they can deal with Elizabeth Warren? And why aren't they saying it about other candidates like Bernie Sanders? And don't just tell me it's because Elizabeth Warren is a Democrat. It's more than that. It's because she's pliable, she's willing to adjust, she's willing to play ball, and play ball she has. Now, in the Atlantic article, they point out that this strategy of Elizabeth Warren, because yes, it is a strategy. People make it seem, oh no, she's just really good at working with people and talking, and she's really good at, seeing both sides of an issue. And even she would probably say to me, oh, Tim Black, gee willikers, Tim Black, why are you so negative? Jesus Christ, calling me sus. That just burns my butt cheeks, Tim Black. Well, she might say that, or she might not, or she might just say, screw you, Tim Black, I got nothing to say to you. But the point I'm trying to make is that Elizabeth Warren is playing on the team of the Democratic Party. She's not going to call out the DNC. People think it's refreshing. It's refreshing that she's, not trying to tear down the Democratic Party. If you don't think the Democratic Party needs to be torn down, if you don't think it needs revamping, if you don't think it's time to knock down these walls and build a new party basically from the bottom up, I don't know what the hell you've been smoking. They lost 1,000 seats. What didn't you get? All of the energy in the Democratic Party has been from progressives or people posing as progressives. These people speaking the language of progressivism. That's why everybody now is a progressive. And who are these people talking about it needs to stay the same? What sane person thinks they need to stay the same after losing to Donald Trump? Well, just think instead of destroying the party and rebuilding it, basically getting rid of the people whose asses you've been kissing for the last, probably decade or two, because all that equity you built on their butt cheeks. Mwah, Tom Perez. Mwah, Neera Tanden. I remember some of you cowards were scared of Neera Tanden last election cycle. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't say that. Neera Tanden's got Twitter. She's going to find out, Johnson. She's going to say mean things about us. Oh, my God. Screw Neera Tanden. Screw all of them. The bottom line is, you want change or don't you want change? I think there's a lot of people who have a vested interest in keeping things status quo. For job security, Johnson, most of them just pissed off because they already picked out what Georgetown condo or Georgetown brownstone they were going to live in. And then Hillary Clinton lost, and they were like, oh no. And then all of a sudden had to make new arrangements. They had to stay in their same old $750,000 flats wherever they were already stationed. That's the real issue. They didn't get those jobs they thought they were going to get because Hillary lost. And if you don't think Donald Trump being president is not a signal that maybe your party is full of shit, maybe your party needs a makeover, man, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, how much low do you have to go? I mean, I understand people have substance abuse problems, and part of being a drug addict is being, a sickness. It's a health issue. I get that. And I know a lot of people don't say they need treatment, but you need treatment. I mean, damn, you don't live, you lost your house, you lost your car, you lost your kids, and now you're giving unclean people sexual favors for $2 in an alley in the back, and you're still going, I'm fine. You don't think that's look, if you can't see that this thing needs revamping, see, Elizabeth Warren's not there to get that done. She's not in it to get it. That's why they like her. If she was going to remove all the furniture, knock down the walls, and rebuild this sucker from the ground up as truly a working people's party that cared about unions, that cared about poverty, that was trying to fix the black wealth gap, that was trying to actually correct the freaking sellout to the corporations that they've been, was going to end the private prison industry, all of it. If she's going to do all of that, they wouldn't like her either. She'd be persona non grata. Just like Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders. Anyone the establishment likes ain't for you. Damn it, they're not cannibals. They're not going to eat themselves. They're not going to chew off their own arms because you got nice glasses or because you got a great maroon blazer or whatever that color is. Because you got a great backstory, because your grandma and your nampa. Nah, that's not why, man. The establishment Democrats, the third way, and those other lecherous, treacherous traitors are not going to suddenly have an affinity for you when you're shutting down their meal tickets. And any candidate that they support, that they embrace, cannot be against their interests. And their interest is to continue the corporate Democrat way of being. What's so hard to get about that? I'm going to continue to fight the good fight and call out the nonsense. When these people who are saying, Elizabeth Warren, blah, 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 blah. Identity politics, all of it. And this is why I remind you that this show is brought to you by people like you. It's brought to you by people who are regular viewers of the show. They get to the show, they become 10 Black Wolfpack members. They get $5 a month or more, various levels of access to shows and free stuff. So become a 10 Black Wolfpack member today, because the establishment ain't helping me, or you, or us. Because we speak truth to power.